in Fincher's Avery, and I'm here to talk about a TV show that I've watched, like, I think I'm doing on my sixth time through. I'm not one to rewatch things much, but Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Nickelodeon cartoon, it's American, but it's based on anime. But it's one of those child's cartoons that I don't view it as a child's cartoon. I view it on par with like Netflix's Daredevil, with, I don't know, just great TV shows, because it's the overarching story of it, the way that they get everything to go together, the way that they develop characters, this amazing creative world that they have. It's beautiful. Like, it's probably one of my favorite TV shows I've ever watched, and which is why I keep going back to it. And it's just, like, I don't watch it like back to back. I like give it a year or two, but it's every time I get to like the season finale, like I feel emotional. Like, it grabs me because of the way it's connected the characters, the way that it's humanized the characters, so they're not just some drawn cartoon on it. That they seem like actual people that I could like stumble through some magic portal, find myself in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and meet Aang, Zuko, or Katara, or maybe even Sokka. It could be so cool. And it just had to pause it there because the wind picked up, but wind, airbender, poo. But like, even that's so cool. Like, that inspired me as a kid to like maybe like do these things like whoa. Like, whoa, what kind of bender would I be? What, like, not that I'm like obsessed, like, oh, I have to be these things, but because what keeps bringing me back is the characters, the people, the humanization, the way that they go out and like develop these characters. Because one thing that a lot of movies and TV shows today keep doing is, no, every episode, every moment, every scene, except maybe like 5 seconds an episode or something like that, have to further the plot, have to further something for the main overarching story. And that's just not always the case. I mean, everything has to be somewhat relevant. You can't just randomly be like, hey, here's a random thing we'll never mention again, yada yada yada. But you can have these times like Avatar does, where you're exploring the world to understand why it needs to be saved, why it's a good thing that this world needs to be saved. All these beautiful, unique people, all this culture. It's just, I just have a lot of respect for it too, because rewatching it, there's another YouTube review that I can't think of it. I watched it quite a while ago, but one of the things that they're saying is that, I think it's right in the title, is Avatar respects its audience, and that's why it's so great. It gives you the respect that, like, hey, even though we're doing this for kids, we're gonna understand that they can, infer things, that they can do these things, and that greatly leads to adults being like, I like this show. It actually respects us, it's not like it's just some stupid dumb kids show. Zuko actually has a lot of struggles, which is another thing I love. Zuko is just, he loses. That's his story arc. Is he constantly loses on his journey to try to be the ultimate winner. He, for so many of the seasons, that's his, there's 3 seasons, but like the main arc of it, it's just like, he starts off like, I must regain my honor. Except not quite like, I must regain my honor. I must do it and recapture the Avatar so my dad will love me again. Traffic happened, but Zuko, anyways, like, that's his story arc. He's constantly trying to regain his father's love. He's constantly trying to be like, yes, Father, love me. I'm trying to please you, after he messed up. After he disrespected his Fire Lord father, his king. Not a good father, by the way, really abusive. And even to his sister, who constantly one-upped him, was constantly the favorite, was constantly better than him in every way at first. And he just felt lost. And that's kind of why he's the main antagonist essentially the main antagonist in the first season. I mean, Fire Lord Ozai kind of becomes the main antagonist later on. because you know he's the big thing, the reason the Avatar is there at the moment, and it's just so interesting. And then you go to Toph, a character you meet later. She's a blind little girl, but she's about as powerful. It's not really a spoiler. It happens within like a single episode, but she's one of the most powerful Earthbenders ever. I don't know if she's the most powerful, but she's this like 10-year-old blind little girl who grew up in a sheltered household. But she has power. She has strength. She can kick the rear end of like anyone that really needs it, and it's hilarious in a way because it was actually originally a joke. So I was like, hey, why don't we just make her a blind little girl? But then everyone was like, yeah, let's do it. And then she's now she's probably one of my top 3 favorite characters. But it's just, and the characterization that she has, that it's like, even if you are kept close, you're sheltered, even if you have all these things that limit you and limit your perception, you can still do great things. And like Zuko, I didn't really talk, I realized I just forgot to say one of the things that he says is, minor spoiler alert, just skip ahead like 30 seconds. Zuko eventually, he decides, no, it's not about winning, it's not about regaining my honor. This thing that how life should have been long ago, I should do what's right. And that constant striving of, in the slim chance that doing what's right actually works out for you, doing it's good because it's the right thing. It helps people. And that's a really cool part of the show. And for Aang, he has these pressures of, I don't want to do this, but I need to. I don't want to end up killing, that's what everyone's saying. I'm killing the Fire Lord to restore balance. I need to stop this. I don't want to be the Avatar. I don't want this responsibility. I want to be a child. To me, I really relate to that right now, because it's like, in this next year, I'm going to become a legal adult and I'm going to graduate high school. And that's a lot of pressure. I don't even have my driver's license yet, or my learner's license yet, and that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of responsibility to put on someone who doesn't feel ready. Yes, he is 12. Yes, I understand that I'm, older than that. But like, it really, I can sympathize with the guy because it's hard. You gotta do it, so you gotta adapt to it. You gotta step up to it, and ultimately, he finds the way that he's comfortable with going forward. He finds the way that he is okay with doing what he needs to do, with meeting his responsibility as the Avatar. And that's just interesting. Another character development is Sokka. Now this guy starts off as a sexist guy. He's not all too bright. He's not all too skilled, but he thinks he is. But he knows what's right and tries to protect people at all costs, and it's like, no, stay out of it. We don't want to die. But he becomes this selfless hero. He gets trained by this master swordsman. He learns that after a girl kicks his butt, like literally just wipes the floor with him, he's like, no, they know more than me. And then he goes and bows to this place of, hey, can you teach me? And it's just, it's a way where he humbles himself, and it's really cool. I'm gonna pause it because there's a weed whacker. But anyways, he humbles himself to say there's still like as much I can learn. I don't have to be this man, this macho man. Now he wants to be a macho man. Very bad, the most macho man there ever was. But he's not yet. And he realizes that's not really what he needs to be. He needs to be responsible. And then you see how smart he becomes with these inventions and convoluted ideas in a way. And again, that's really cool. Now Katara, I don't know. In a way, she has the least amount of character growth out of the main cast that I can think of right now, but she still has a lot of really cool character abilities. She's a healer, she's a natural healer. She wants to be better, but there's a lot of times someone who's better than her. And I find that interesting, because it's like, she's not the best, but she's kind of okay with it mostly. I don't know. At least at first, but she works. She's someone who I guess her message is if you work for something, you can achieve it. Because she was a waterbender, but she wasn't the best at it. Because she was beside like Aang, who was like this prodigy who grew like not just because he used the avatar. As you see how he struggles learning earthbending, but she just works at it and works at it. And shows how if you really want something and you work for it, you can get it. Like realistically want something. Like I'll never be able to fly by myself like Superman, but I can fly in a plane. I can make a plane. I could strive to make a jetpack. But you have to actually be able to achieve it, more or less. A good example of this is the YouTuber Markiplier. Now, if you don't know who Markiplier is, there's a good channel for it, Foot of a Ferret, who does I think it's 6-minute video, but like it's Markiplier, the history of Markiplier explained in like 6 minutes. It's good to watch, but basic rundown if you don't know who he is. He's this YouTuber, one of the 3 big gaming YouTubers. But what he did, he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be big on this, but I want to be. I want to strive to be better. I want to strive to make this YouTube thing something that will make me a better person. To grow a community together where people won't be alone and all that. And eventually he makes all these charity live streams. He does all these great things, but he worked for it. Yes, he's lazy sometimes, but he finds ways to make himself not. So he works forward. So he does good things, and it's amazing. And in a way, he's one of my role models to some degree. And it's really cool what he's able to accomplish just through this platform of YouTube. And I don't think I'll ever be able to go to Markiplier levels of anything, but if I could, that would be inspiring. And like, damn. Markiplier is a good example, a real world example of what Katara did. She worked for it, so she could be a better person, so she could be a better waterbender, so she could grow and help the Avatar, so she could do the right thing. She wanted to do that. That was her dream. And now there's Uncle Iroh. I should talk about Uncle Iroh, another one of my favorite characters. What he shows, no matter what your past is, because he was a Fire Nation general. He probably, like in a popular one, like everyone knew who General Iroh was. He laid siege to Ba Sing Se, the impenetrable Earth Kingdom city, for I forget how long, but it was a long time. But he changed when his son died. He became this wise, compassionate old man, and to try and help bring direction to Zuko's life. And again, that's something that's amazing and in a way beautiful, which is what the show is. And it's just really cool. I'm across the road. Doing this clip, I accidentally, some wrestling in that bush. I accidentally took a picture of myself. But anyways, Uncle Iroh, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, Aang, Toph. They show these things that are really admirable in a lot of ways, and it's just really cool to see how all of this show comes together for this beautiful message. Now, I'm not going to give many spoilers, but besides, I guess, those character development, but like, which I don't know if you can count as spoilers, but seriously, watch the show if you haven't already. And if you have, and you happen to cross my video, give a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me about your experience with it, or why I'm wrong, or why you agree with me. I want a conversation if you come across this. But anyways, that's it for now. Stay flying.